Alright, we're back to boring stuff after a bit. And, you know, I remembered something sort of important that I forgot before. We forgot to read the news. Issue 5 of the Tyrell Times. So we'll start off with a good reading of current events. What's going on with Cray Village? National investments in Cray Village show signs of success. In November of last year, the majority of Cray Village's residents lost their lives in the worst act of terrorism in recorded history. In the wake of that tragedy, the military sealed off the remains of the village, refusing to permit even the families of the attack victims to enter for funeral purposes. Grim though the state of affairs in Cray may be, recent reports have shown a ray of hope upon the situation. As early as last year, multiple groups and businesses began collaborating to fundraise for Cray's sake, helping to lay the spirits of the dead to rest and eventually rebuild the town. Eventually, those efforts have hit their fundraising goal. Although the necessary funds have been gathered, the fundraising collective is expected to continue to actively work toward the rebuilding of Cray. Representatives of the joint film currently production between Vegas Films and Kowloon Pictures also promised to donate a portion of the picture's profits toward the town and have recently reaffirmed their intent to honor that pledge. The majority of the mirror collected will be donated to the families of Cray residents, used to construct a monument to the victims of the attack, fund efforts to restore the unique local industries that were lost along with the village, and eventually contribute to the reconstruction of the village itself once the blockade has been lifted. It seems clear that the road to reconstruction will be a long one, but the prevailing sentiment among friends and family of the victims is one of hope. When the blockade is lifted, they believe Cray Village will be rebuilt and the wills of those who lost their lives will carry on. Culture. Who will claim the Z1 Finals trophy? At long last, the final race of the Z1 Grand Prix is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Racing fans from far and wide will gather in the Grand Circuit to see who will become this year's reigning champion. The victor of last month's exhibition race was Maxim, with Aslan coming in second. We spoke with Aslan about the upcoming Grand Prix finals, and he had this to say: "I spent the last month training, and training some more. But if not for the efforts of my mechanics, who have tuned my car to perfection time and again, and the undying support from my fans, I wouldn't be standing here today. I intend to live up to their expectations, so for this final race, I'm going full throttle." Maxim, meanwhile, is equally determined to win this upcoming race. I have a fourth consecutive championship to win, and I will win it, no matter what it takes. Now, more than ever, I've got people who believe in me, and I'm not about to let them down, he declared with bolstering confidence. The question within everyone's minds is, who will be crowned 1209 Z1 champion? Though the teams of the two favored racers, Etwas and Ingert, tend to attract most of the attention, it goes without saying that Red Star and Lino are just as heavily invested in the race's outcome. Lino in particular has suffered from poor showings in the past several Z1 Grand Prix races, and has high hopes to restore his good name through this year's championship. According to a company representative, our team will be racing with the prestige of our whole company on its shoulders. We intend to restore our reputation through this race and then some. I have a feeling that Zect Arms is going to be involved in that in some way. Politics. Young Republican Party Senator Ryan takes podium at debate. A political debate sponsored by the International Cooperative Organization, NGO, and scheduled to occur on the 22nd of this month, has drawn attention to both the ruling and opposing parties of the Republic. The topic of the debate is about the role the Republic plays on the international stage. It is likely the ICO's intent is to determine the position the Republic may take in the affairs of Zemuri as a whole. The current ruling party, the Patriot League, has already announced that President Gramhart will participate in the debate. The opposing Republican Party, meanwhile, will be sending Ryan Connery, a young senator who has drawn considerable attention over the past several years. Although Senator Ryan is part of a minor faction within the Republican Party, his talent for planning and adaptability have led many members of the party, including former President Rocksmith, to place their hopes in him. Senator Ryan was kind enough to agree to an interview with us, where, on the subject of the debate 2 days from now, he had this to say: "Speaking of someone who can hardly be called part of the political mainstream, I must admit that being asked to debate the president was rather intimidating. That said, I have every intention of tackling the debate in good faith and arguing my case to the best of my abilities. My hope is to both present a case for how I believe our republic should wield its influence in the political landscape of Zemuria, and also to press President Gramhart regarding a number of aspects of its own vision for our nation. I believe that this debate is about more than just matters of international policy. It concerns the very future, the republic itself, and I intend to treat it accordingly. Although a member of the Republican Party, Senator Ryan is clearly a man with his own unique, deeply held convictions. The question is, what impact will those convictions have upon the political landscape of the Republic as he steps forward onto his largest stage yet? Opinion: the history of the White Clove, symbol of the Republic. As he approached the halfway point of March, the white cloves have once again begun to bloom all across the Republic, as they do every year, and we can expect them to be in full bloom by the end of the month. They are a symbol of spring in our nation for a good reason. The flowers of the white clove, however, are more than just a sign of the changing seasons. They symbolize a great many things for Calvard, and it is that symbolic value which led to the white clove to be selected as our national flower. In this column, I hope to explain to you some of the cultural and historical factors that make the white clove so significant. To start, while the white clove is a common sight throughout the Republic, the capital in particular, it is an endemic species that grows virtually nowhere else throughout Zemuria. Moreover, it's a flower that's been beloved by the people of Calvard since far back in our nation's history. The Republic's national anthem is even titled Swear on the White Cloves, demonstrating just how integral a symbol of our nation they truly are. Cloves themselves trace their origin to the continent's southeastern tropics and were not initially present in the Midwestern region that Calvard came to occupy. That said, due to high demand for them as a spice during the monarchy era, they were often imported from an old Eastern Empire. It was during that period that seemingly miraculously cloves took root in Calvard's soil despite the local environment being entirely unlike that of their native land. Those cloves soon adapted to local conditions, and so the white clove, a subspecies unique to Calvard, was born. Ah, yes. Invasive species. The white clove's beauty and their presence throughout this land were what led its flowers to be beloved by the royalty and adopted as a symbol of the Old Kingdom. Over the course of the Calvardian Revolution, however, the flower took on a new symbolic meaning. In the modern era, the white clove represents peace and harmony through diversity. After all, the white clove is a plant from the southeast that miraculously took root in the west, changing the color of its blossoms to live in harmony with its new environment. As a result, many people have taken to viewing the white clove as being much like the many people of varying ethnicities who coexist within our nation. The white clove, symbol of the Calvardian Republic, is more than just a lyric and a motif. It is a symbol of the ideals that drive us forward into the modern era together. Ooh, okay, let's actually talk to people now. Hey, Deswani. Welcome back, Inspired Deswani. Are you in the middle of investigation? Well, I wouldn't call it an investigation per se. I just got a bad feeling lately, like something big's coming. Figured it might be a good idea to patrol around town for some information just in case, you know? I'm sure that must seem pretty old-fashioned to you young folks. Who does all their investigating by foot anymore? Of course we don't think that. We're just in awe of how thorough you are, Inspector Deswani. I mean, all of our colleagues look up to you. Yeah, they really do. Stoic investigating, swift situation assessment, there's so much you teach us. Well, I suppose it's rather nice to know my juniors are paying attention. But anyway, if anything happens, just be sure to contact me. Oh wow, how is he always so cool? Let's see. Yeah, no kidding. Much better than Nate. Nobody likes Nate. Come to think of it, Nate's head has been in the clouds instead of his work lately. What's the sun's weighing on him? I'm not about to insinuate myself into his private life. The sooner he gets back on solid ground, the better. Wonder if we have to solve anything about that. Leave it to Inspector Deswani to use old tricks to break new ground. He might not look it, but we younger officers know full well what a compassionate soul he can be. I mean, the man's got Nate for a direct subordinate. The fact he hasn't given up on him says it all. A lot of our newer officers either shrink in fear at Inspector Deswani or write him off as a relic of the past. But his track record speaks for itself. The man climbed his way up the ladder one rung at a time. If anything, we should be tipping our caps to him. Come to think of it, don't you have some kind of dream, Marilyn? You know, like becoming an actress or an idol? They're pretty competitive industries, but I can't imagine you'd have trouble fitting in. You're always up to date on the latest trends. Yeah, no kidding. You got so many connections, too. I mean, weren't you the one that introduced me to Shakar? I just have to mention how pretty you are. You'd be a top seller in no time. While I appreciate all the flattery, I'm not really super keen on joining the entertainment world. Besides, I have something else lined up for me. Mysterious as always, Marilyn. She sure does have plenty of mirror, though. Maybe she's living it up in the shadows. This isn't even scratching the surface of the many mysteries of Marilyn. The biggest one in my book is why she seems to have it in for me all the time. To be honest, I've always seen Marilyn as a closed book. It'd be nice if she opened up to me more, but I still consider us besties anyway, so it's whatever. There's no need to worry for my sake. I've already found my life's calling, believe it or not. Yeah. Fun day today, by the way. We had a power outage that lasted maybe like a few minutes, but yeah, that was fun. I needed to take a shower. I played 9 holes of golf because I actually enjoy playing that sport, and even though I'm not good at it. And yeah, got home, power went out. All right, let's lay stories, more talking to people. We have a lot more people to talk to, and we're not gonna get it all done before the end of the night. Hermes Academy's holding its school festival soon, aren't they? Maybe I should attend. I've been thinking of going to one of their events for a while anyway. That just gave me an idea. I can invite Kirk to come with me. I'm hoping I'll be able to give him a chance to get a look at what he's missing out on. Kirk wouldn't look out of place either if he enrolled in the high school. He's at the right age, more or less. My dad's the one pushing for him to further his education, though. I think it'd be fine if he joined the workforce. But apparently neither of them are his thing. All he does now is play basketball on the street. At this point, I'm just looking for a way to spur him into taking his future seriously.
Well?
Oh, wait, so Kirk is, her sister. The guy who's like, I think it's the dude who wears the beanie on the basketball court, who's kind of a dick. It's a shame Lolo's at Sunday school right now. His father just called it the most wonderful news. It's all his busy season at work is over, you see. He'll be back at home with us for a while starting tomorrow. Until now, it's been one business trip after another, to the point where he was away more often than not. Lolo will be bouncing off the walls with joy when he hears about this.
Alrighty.
Thinking back, I've been growing a lot closer to the people in our neighborhood lately. I happened to bump into one of them during a shopping trip, so I decided to take a page out of Lolo's book and struck up a conversation. Next I knew we were friends, and from there she introduced me to some of her fellow housewives. Now I look forward to socializing with them. Once my husband's around again, I'll have no reason to feel lonesome anymore. And you have something new to sell me. It's been remodeled a number of times over the years, and your own cafe has stood in this spot for over a century. In fact, its historical value in particular is what draws some of our patrons to visit. Naturally, owning such an establishment can be a heavy burden to bear, but the pride it confers far outweighs the pressure. I plan to keep it running well into the future, ideally in a way that lives up to its storied past and previous owners.
Welcome! Thank you for coming!
I had a feeling that was his voice.
Please stop by again.
I somewhat remembered. I can't get that jubilant and gravelly, but I remembered he had a deeper voice. The heck's going on here? Oh, it's the racer dude. I don't remember what his name. Aslan. Yes. Welcome. We're holding a meet and greet for Mr. Aslan here today. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision made in response to his newfound popularity. Our usual venue for this sort of thing is currently unavailable, however. So, the owner of Macmillan Cafe kindly agreed to lend us his terrace. We're grateful to him, as is Mr. Aslan, of course. Ah, she's back here. Rumor has it that anti-immigration terrorists are on the move again. There's no reason to doubt it either, from what I hear. It's hard to picture them pulling off anything major though, now that they lost their funding from Maracion. Then again, you never know what people like that are capable of once they're driven into a corner.
Alrighty.
Speaking of anti-immigration terrorists, the True Grievance Brigade was a real force to be reckoned with back in the day. They used gunships during their attack on the trade conference, as well as these autonomous weapons they got off the black market. So that's what their name was? I don't know. I played Trails Through Azure with the machine translation patch years ago. It was super scuffed. It was great. Oh, you never get any less adorable, Kageyoshi. You know, the owner told me a few things about you. He said you're a regular kitty detective who can pick out the bad guys to see trouble coming in our way. Is that true? What am I asking? Of course he can't.
3.2. Now
I think he knows plenty.
Take wing and soar above the court, and blaze a trail for those who follow.
Attention everyone, I'll be handing out numbered tickets, so if you could please form an orderly line. Okay. Talk to everybody. So, tell me, Aslan, what are your thoughts heading into this final race? Well, needless to say, I plan to do my level best, but really, this is about more than just winning. It's about pushing myself and my car to the limit. No matter what, I won't give up till I cross that finish line. And that's how I plan to pay my respects. To the fans, to my mechanics, and to my fellow racer and esteemed rival, Maxim Lugan. I see. Thank you for your time. And I might say your integrity and passion for this sport really shines through. I can only hope I manage to get them across to our readers. Wow, Aslan really is an incredible guy. Between his handsome face and his skills behind the wheel, it's no wonder he's the hot new thing. Almost makes me feel like I don't even deserve to interview him. I wonder if he has any relations to characters that we know. I can't say for sure. Anyway. Excuse me, I've been a fan of yours ever since your debut, Aslan. Aslan, I've seen all your races, working to overcome your meager beginnings, beating out all the others with only half the sponsors. And when you were finally picked up by Ingert, that was just the push you needed to make it to the Z1. It's been so inspiring to watch you climb the ranks, Aslan. You're my hero. Wow, you really know your stuff, huh? Thanks for standing by me for so long. I'd never be where I am today without support like yours. Oh wow, anything for you, Aslan. Everyone's saying you have a real chance of snatching away Maxim's 4th victory. Whatever happens, we'll always be there to cheer you on. Well, thanks very much. I appreciate it. You know, I've been striving to match Maxim's skill ever since I saw him race Z1 for the first time. And tomorrow, I'll finally be able to measure myself against the best of the best. I think I've seen this guy somewhere before. Was it in the papers? That's Aslan. He's a Z1 racer like Maxim. Said to be the Red Comet's new rival, actually. Even though he's still pretty young, he's apparently beat out all the top racers. Heard he's worked pretty hard to do it, too. Serious yet refreshing personality. And I'm sure it doesn't hurt that he's kind of a pretty boy. No wonder he's all the craze lately. Can't be any more disappointing than other racer we know.
Well,
I've had something in my left eye, and now I have something in my right eye. It's such a pain. Like, I'm trying to read, and suddenly the upper part of my vision gets like a white spot because that dang thing is like in my eye. It's making my eye tear up a bit. Ugh. Oh. Gotta squeeze around, talk to other fans. Now, he's just too cool, like freezing bucket of ice water cool. Maxim's hot, but Aslan stomps him in that category too.
Indeed.
So is he hot or is he cold? It's nice getting a chance to hear from my fans. Knowing that all of them are counting on me to deliver helps sharpen my focus. I'm gonna give it everything I got. Well, tomorrow for my sake and
now
theirs.
playing in a theater near you. Take wing and soar above
Going.
the court, and blaze a trail for those who follow.
They're just sitting outside this place. We'll talk to them later.
I've already confirmed that on our end.
Are you aware that former President Rocksmith is currently abroad? Now, what could someone who has withdrawn from the political world be hoping to achieve in another country? If he failed to provide an explanation, then it could be taken as an international incident under the pretext of a tour inspection. Or perhaps despite drawing a line in the sand, he's still maintaining diplomatic relations with foreign powers. Ariel's still plugging away with their independent investigation. They seem kinda harried about it too. Nico set the bar she wanted to reach. Now that he's gone, she probably isn't sure what to make of herself anymore. If you ask me though, Muriel's already developed a distinctive reporting style. Her doubts never stop her from moving forward. It'll go a long way toward reaching her goals. Mr. Langdon never changes though, huh? He was always brown-nosing President Rocksmith the curry favor during the previous administration. Now he's probably going to spend the debate fawning all over President Grabhart and the current party in power instead. We'll just have to bank on Marielle for a fair and unbiased article. Now on to the assignments for the political debate and corresponding interviews 2 days from now. We'll have Langdon to handle President Grabhart and his party. Marielle can accompany him. Her sense of justice can make her a bit hasty, but we can't deny the experience she's managed to accrue. At this point, I think we could trust her to cut the hard-hitting questions without crossing the line. So she's going to be the one interviewing. Something's going to be happening at that debate as well, then. Almost certainly.
I've got some delicious.
Can't wait. The wait for our new spring medley special is finally over. Come and get it while it's cold. One bite will fill your mouth with a flavor explosion of pulpy spring fruits and fragrant spring flowers. Why is that hard to say? It started out gaining traction bit by bit, but getting featured in the Tyrrell Times gave it a real boost. Yeah, ice cream truly is a thing of endless possibilities. Whipping up new creations like these really drives that point home.
What can I get for you?
Spring medley,
Thanks for shopping.
and we will eat.
Love me a sugar rush.
Hey, all depends.
No? What new?
Up your car. The recent surge in T-phone usage has made it easier than ever to analyze trends via the OrbitNet. Not only that, it promises to be a valuable tool for scouting new talent. Take, for example, the numerous young women posting photogenic selfies in which they modeled their own fashions. Every so often, you'll have a hidden gem among them who shines exceptionally bright. I would say it's weird, but it's literally his job to scout modeling talent. Now, where's the newest Bravely Legends volume? Ah, there we are. That's an instant buy for me. I'll admit my eyes would often wander over to this section while searching for work-related materials. These days, I can save time looking up resources and gathering information on my T-phone. That gives me the freedom to enjoy my favorite comics out in the open. Speaking of Bravely Legends, last week's chapter featured a stark deviation from its usual material. Putting in elements of underworld wheeling and dealing into the plot was both fresh and captivating, no doubt. But it did come as a surprise seeing Jay Siegel draw on that topic in particular. I have to wonder what spurred it on. I was wondering if I could actually read that. Falcom Diary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of copies of Falcom Diary at the store. Oh, hey, Albert. Hey. Agnes. Agnes. So the business you mentioned having taken care of in this afternoon really was your part-time job. Speaking of which, I completely forgot that I was scheduled for a shift today. I wound up having to cancel my appointment with Odette at the last minute. Well, Albert, don't go overexerting yourself if you're tired, alright? That's a funny thing to say, given how much harder you've been working on, yes. You seem to be managing pretty well for yourself, though, so I won't harp on it. Well, if it's rest and relaxation you need, there's nothing more refreshing than a trip to the sauna. That sounds pretty tempting, actually. Hold on, since when did you have a stake in this conversation? How now? I didn't let my work schedule just slip my mind like that. Sigh. Really, I'm in need of a good long break. What are you selling? One secret to our popularity is that we always strive to keep our customers engaged. That includes doing fairs and collaborations on a regular basis in order to keep ourselves relevant. Last year we had a tie-in with the film festival and set up a booth at the Revolution Festival. And if all goes well, we'll be holding yet another different event here tomorrow. Something's happening tomorrow.
Please take as much time as you need.
Nafa. The world from Solaris. Conscience Mountain Range's night sky. Most likely for Shizuna, right?
Wanna check your schedule, eh?
Oh no, it's for Katra. I thought the Mountain Mountains was by Long Lie. Am I mixing it up with a different? I do not have the map memorized.
Thank you.
Well, we have more people to talk to and more shops to shop at.
Care for some popcorn?
So, Esprit Cinema reopened without a hitch, and I couldn't be happier. There's just no room in my heart for any other theater. I can feel the excitement rising already. This is the place that made me fall in love with movies as a kid, after all. It means the world to me.
Hi there. Want to try something?
Blue popcorn. Blueberry flavored popcorn that's as fun to look at as it is to eat. Interesting.
Come again.
Sandwich.
Thanks for the grub.
Listen to this, you guys.
Do you remember that idol duo that started up last year? You hear they've been scrambling all over the place doing live concert after live concert. Sigh, just my luck they stopped performing at the concert hall right when I decided to go see them. Oh well, I'm sure I'll get another chance at the Trian Mall or some other venue. Glad they're doing well, right? Home away from home at last. Theater's just so much more comfortable to me.
Thank
One
you
over
for your
at the
visit
Trian
today.
Mall is an acceptable lineup, so long as you can stomach the way they've styled the place.
The showing on screen
But they
one
just
will
can't
soon
beat the
begin.
good old-fashioned feel of Esprit, or their expertly curated
If you have a
selection.
ticket, please proceed to
What's
the
more,
entrance.
it's close to where I live. Movie going in a familiar environment is the best and only way for me. They mentioned rehauling their sound system, and sure enough, it's easy to pick out the finer details in the audio. Ears have gone bad with age, so it's a real treat to be able to hear the music and effects so crispy and cleanly.
Why not buy a souvenir to remember your
So,
visit?
as your senses deteriorate, it gets harder to notice changes in the score, and if the song features vocals, good luck making out the lyrics. Good to know. Can't wait. I look forward to that.
Pretty good.
Esprit Cinema is once
Thank you
again
for
open
your
for
visit
business.
today.
Your patience has been much appreciated. The renovations were a time-consuming affair, but such is the fate of a vintage structure like ours. It did
If you
give
have a
me a new
ticket,
appreciation
please
for
proceed to
this
the
building's
entrance.
history, which stretches back to the very dawn of movie making itself. At any rate, we're now able to provide a more comfortable experience to our guests. I hope you'll continue to make us the theater of your choice. Or
We
make
have
us your
merchandise
theater
for
of
the movie
choice.
on sale at the shop.
Incidentally, when you watch a movie, are you aware of the name and style of the audio that produced it? Here in Calvert, there are currently 4 companies that dominate this industry: Vegas Films, Howland Pictures, United Star, and Orion Films. Or is it Orion? Each one has its own unique flair that characterizes the works it puts out.
Thank you for your
Attempting
visit
to
today.
identify these tendencies through the films that are playing can be quite enjoyable, I find.
The showing on screen 2 will soon.
It's like when you're watching a movie and you can spot like the weird quirks
Please
that
silence
a
your phones and enjoy
that a
the film.
director puts out. Like anything by Edgar Wright is always a treat to watch. It feels like I haven't been here forever. It's not like it was even closed for that long.
On sale at the shop.
It's fine though. According to the listings, Esprit's going to be playing movies that aren't showing
Why not
at
buy
the
a
other
souvenir
theater
to
too.
remember your visit?
It's kind of annoying how far the mall is from my house, but I don't mind going to either depending on what I'm up for. Don't have hardly any background with the series, but you're enjoying the stream. Nice break from the Final Fantasy 11
Thank you for your visit
Horizon
today.
you've been playing. 11 was the
The showing on screen
MMO,
1
wasn't
will
it?
soon begin.
It was the MMO before
If you have a ticket, please proceed to the entrance.
14, right? Is Horizon like a
We have merchandise for
Private
the movie
server?
on sale at the shop.
also, how's it going lately? Private server that is a 75 cap nostalgia era. Ooh. Let's see, I'm gonna watch Saga of Ravana Day. In case you're wondering, people are saying it's so flashy it hurts. Oh boy. This is my first time seeing a movie that a studio from Alsace worked on. Wonder how it'll be.
Thank you for your visit today.
Let's go give ourselves epilepsy.
The showing on screen 2 will soon
Welcome to
begin.
Esprit Cinema's grand reopening. Your patience has been greatly appreciated. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by our audio and air conditioning equipment renovations. But on the bright side, we are now able to provide an even better movie watching experience to our guests. We hope you'll take the time to enjoy it with us.
We have merchandise.
By the way,
completely
about the
on sale
movies we
as
have
well.
displayed on the banners out front. I'm afraid that our theater will only be screening them at
Or we'll buy a
limited show
souvenir to remember
times.
your
My
visit.
apologies in advance. I hear they're always playing at the Orville Multiplex over at the Tree in Maldo. What do we got?
Welcome.
Let's build up some bonding. We only have My Casablanca
Thank
as
you
not
for your visit
purchased.
today.
Genre: teen drama.
The showing on screen
Well-
1 will soon begin.
I guess let's check
Enjoy the
the
film.
connection section. I guess we could drag Rosette and Elaine to this, so that way we get the bonus for
Welcome.
both of them. There we go. Dan decided to let everyone loose so we could watch a movie during his work break. After inviting Cody to tag along with him, they made their way to the theater. Horizon is dated to about 2004, so on quality of life specifically. Makes you wonder if there are any original Final Fantasy XIV private servers for, like, historical purposes. Because I'm sure people aren't playing that versus the new Final Fantasy XIV for enjoyment. Alright. Helena, a third year at a prestigious all-girls school and head of its library committee, does not get along with their first-year subordinate Sherry. Being an austere young lady of high birth, she has exceptionally little tolerance for Sherry's childish, impish behavior. One day, Helena finds an exchange diary in the library, and its author desiring a pen pal. Intrigued, she writes a response under a pseudonym. Adopting the guise of a kind, caring upperclassman, Helena continues the correspondence, and her relationship with her pen pal deepens. Eventually, as their exchanges become more personal in nature, Helena comes to realize her secret recipient may in fact be Sherry. As time passes, Helena notices gradual shifts in Sherry's disposition, with her looking more downcast by the day. While she could find nary a trace of melancholy within her notes, Helena's worries festered all the same, leading her to confront Sherry directly. Although initially hesitant, Sherry confesses that she's fallen in love with a classmate she had been exchanging notes with. In that moment, Helena felt a tinge of joy, but she's taken aback. Her last failed relationship with a girl is still fresh on her mind. Out of a desire to protect her from that same pain, Helena tries to convince Sherry to cut off her feelings for her alter ego.
You're merely playing a game of make-believe. I assure you, it won't last. These kinds of fickle relationships are all too common here. Besides, you've heard that people who engage in that sort of thing often become an object of idle gossip and
Oh,
ridicule.
wait, wasn't this the one that we got like the sneak preview of?
I understand that. It's just...
Like on the island.
Don't tell me you actually believe that pen pal of yours is your dream soulmate. How juvenile. Flights of romantic fancy are all well and good, but I think it's about time you grew up, Sherry.
They're also doing the classic
get
movie
it now.
bit of
This is your way of
casting
being
a
kind,
person
isn't
who's
it?
like in their
You're denying my
mid-20s, early
feelings so I
30s
won't
as a
get
high
hurt.
school student.
What are you saying? Did you not listen to a single word I said?
I did a lot of thinking about who this girl could be. I wondered, who is this person that's comforting me with all these kind words? And then, I saw you. I saw you put the diary back in its hiding place.
You saw that? But the person you developed feelings for is nothing more than a fabrication. They aren't the rigid girl you see before you.
That's not true. The girl I see in front of me is shy, and she hides her kindness behind a thin veil of austerity. If I were to put my feelings into words, how would I write them? Maybe you can teach me, Helena.
We don't need to write them down, Sherry. Because they're already engraved in our hearts.
Clap, clap, clap. I wonder if there really is such a thing as a soulmate. Now there's something I never thought I'd hear from. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You fill me out so much that sometimes I forget you're still only 20. I understand. Please, don't worry about it. It shows that the last time I felt both the joys and pains of falling in love was several years ago. To yearn for someone and feel it so intensely. Mirabelle once told me love obscures all reason. Okay, I think I can get away with saying I never thought Mirabelle would say something like that. As I understand it, Casablanca, in the language of flowers, means noble, genuine, and great love. How's it going, Chessmaster? How fitting. It's like the flower was meant for Helena and Sherry. Easy to see why they put it in the title. They even plastered the flower on the poster. The large, pure white blooms really bring out the best in the art. The undertones are quite lovely. Gives Nina an almost ethereal look to her. I can understand why they use them in wedding bouquets. Why people love to receive them as gifts. Just remember that the color can change the flower's meaning. Do keep that in mind if you ever plan on giving them this to anyone. Yeah, will do. You expected me to respond here? You stumbled upon her stream, the voice actress who does Reset. Ooh, neat. Hey, looks like they're selling commemorative brochures for the movie. Purchase. I finished your break. Resume work. Bam. Level up. And level up. What do we get for 3 stars? Parameters up. Just for her.
Thank you for your visit.
Let's see what we got. 2 more people over here.
Look at those clothes.
Oh, we already have that scanned. So, you heard about the supposed entertainment maestro, right? Some guy who's involved in producing all these super successful movies, but he's never shown himself in public. Yeah, everyone I know is talking about it. I don't really tell how much of it's true though. I wonder who he is. Everyone on the net's just taking shots in the dark. Well, the guy's got to be pretty experienced, yeah? Man, it's crazy that he's produced so many genres. Call him a genius would be putting it lightly. How am I doing?
Indeed.
Well, I have had a very bad throat cold for the past week, so that has not been good. It was quite bad. It finally seems after over a week to be going away. Like it's like every single day it's painful to swallow, and this is the first day where there was a point in the middle of the day where it's been good and I did not have any pain from swallowing. Unfortunately, it gets worse at night, so it came back like an hour or 2 ago. But hey, better is better. I love improvement. Let's see. Not saying I believe them, but this sort of rumor always sparks with some real crackpot theories, especially when it comes to anonymous legends. Message boards go off the deep end trying to piece together their identities. I've even seen some people say the entertainment maestro's actually the president in disguise, and that's just for starters. I'd believe it. Rumors like these tend to lose their luster once the veil of intrigue gets taken off. Still, hearing about a maestro who actually has something to show for it really makes you wonder who they might be. Suspicious.
Thanks for stopping by.
And also, round it out with the stuff happening with me lately. Ow, my eye. I had something in my left eye for a bit, and right around the time I got home from playing 9 holes of golf with a friend, I got something in my right eye. So now I have something in both eyes. That's a ton of fun, because now I have to constantly rub and try to get stuff out of my eye midstream as it cuts into my vision when it floats in front of my retinas. Anyway, hey Calhoun, where have you been this whole time? You could have at least told us where you were going. I was practically holding on by a thread without you. Oh, I didn't really go anywhere. Just had a few errands to deal with, you know? Sorry you had to cover for me. Oh, come on. Do you really think I'd fall for such an obvious lie? Not like I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, if it was some top-secret mission, just say so. Otherwise, spill the beans, Kohan. Sigh. Fine. I went to a martial arts training camp, alright? Doesn't need to know I was there as a spy, though.
Well...
Kohan's really got to learn how to trust me more. I already know about this big secret, and even if I didn't, we're still coworkers. Every time you ask about you, I always got some minor inconvenience hard on my body. The eye thing is very common. I have like my eyes are just like stupid hypersensitive, so like randomly crap, like a single piece of dust gets in my eye and it bothers me. But there is always something to complain about. That much is certain. Outside of that, stuff is usually good. Found a new a few new restaurants near me that I went to with some friends. 28 Years Later is coming out. I don't know if it's already out. What time does it come out? Let me double check this. 28 Years Later. Release date is officially June 20th, so it should technically already be out. I plan on seeing that with a friend, eventually. But apparently that one's very good, so I'm excited about that. There's like a ton of really good anime shows that are getting their next seasons next month. Cinema. I've been continuing my Warhammer painting addiction hobby, whatever you call it, using with resin printing in order to save me some money. And also playing the game is fun occasionally. Just hobbies in general are just generally good. But it's not usually at the top of my mind. It's always the little negative things that are always there. Sometimes you gotta think about the positive stuff. Like the fact that I need to talk to everybody here to get the full experience, and then we could finally get on to Deltarune Chapter 2 and 3, which I'm assuming are very good. I have not seen much other than a few people posting certain screenshots that are maybe mild spoilers, possibly. Yay. The movie came out on the first day of summer. Nice. Yeah. 28 Years Later is exciting because it's like the original director. Like how if you ever watched 28 Days Later, it was a slower burn type of movie, and then 28 Weeks Later was an action movie that had a completely different like director. At least I think it started with the original director, and then partway through the new director came in and turned it into an action movie. And now 28 years later, we have the original director again, and apparently it's going to be a trilogy of movies, I believe. And the first one for a horror movie to have like super high ratings on like the Metacritic overall score rating is pretty good. I'm excited to watch it. But let's continue on with the dialogue here. As he says, "Apologies, I have said too much. Lips are sealed as far as Heyo is concerned."
May I
he has
help
new
you?
stuff. Red Dragon Mapo Tofu.
Thank you.
Also, we didn't learn this. Instantly addicted. I don't know how to pronounce it. Nafe.
I can't take another bite.
This is
Well, look who it is. Been a while since Arkwright Solutions had a company get-together here. I heard about your escapades in Longport, as well as your run in Wasau a few days afterward. So you already knew what went down on Nemeth. Doesn't sound like it stopped you from taking a back seat, though. I got an overview of what the Lee family's deal is. Are there any updates on that front? Well, nothing has changed in any major way. Essentially, all is going according to Sal's designs. The Liu family has quite a bit to work through, however, so I doubt it'll be smooth sailing. Everybody's dancing in the palm of that asshole's hand then, huh? Pissing me off like you wouldn't believe. So it means we better keep our eyes open for any activity from Hayway. Ideally, we won't get dragged into it ourselves, but let's be ready to pivot just in case. Should look at a movie yourself before summer up and goes. Thunderbolt's movie is pretty good if you want to get back into the Marvel stuff. We have an actual good movie that has a lead into that has a lead into some of the new stuff here. Like they tease multiple things, including Fantastic Four, possibly another stuff with Avengers. Most likely, it's all just gonna lead right into Fantastic and Doomsday. Or not This isn't Fantastic. This is Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm too used to saying Fantastic whenever I talk about the Fantastic Four. Thank you, Fox. At this point, Hayway's turmoil doesn't allow for any of us to take a back seat, as you so put it. Just be sure to watch yourselves out there. Who's chilling up here? The directors. Well, if it isn't Van, fancy meeting you here. I'm glad to see you're all doing well. Oh, hey, Gotti, Lamb. You two going over plans for that big collab you mentioned. Got in one, Van. We've actually just about finished filming for it, too. All that's left is a little fine-tuning and drawing up a layout for the final scene. Managed to work out most of our plans before filming, but Gotti and I couldn't help adding a few additions. There are quite a few surprises in this one. I believe the ending will be even more provocative than neither of us expected. Sounds like you two are pretty fired up about this. I can't wait to see it in theaters. Well, you've all done your fair share in helping us both, so we were planning on inviting you to the initial screening. Just you wait, kiddos. It'll be one for the history books. Oh yeah, Armor's Academy holding their festival in April, aren't they? Production should reach a good stopping point by then. Maybe we'll swing by and see what kind of passion those kids can drum up. Thank you once again for your assistance on Nemeth Island. It was a tense few days, but that only made it all the more memorable, for better or worse. Perhaps that's also why my last meeting with Director Gotti feels like such a distant memory. At any rate, I look forward to bouncing ideas off one another. It's always a joy to see a project take shape. I wonder if they're going to save the... They're going to save the movie premiere as, like, the epilogue chapter. I feel like that'd be a good place to put it.
Let's get going.
Like, round out everything with a more positive note. We have not found the thingy here, have we?
Don't think I've seen you before.
Can we go in here? Denzex is through that way. No reason for us to go there now, though. Alright. I wonder if there's a Merchant Garden
Check out the arena.
thingy.
What are you looking at?
I feel like there should be. There's
This
a
is an
fishing
adequate
spot
for
here?
fishing.
What?
Let's do this thing.
This is where we get the big crab. Snow crab and carmine crab. Do we even have the snow crab? We do. So we need carmine crab, pearl glass, and gold. Let's see. Rainbow trout, carmine crab, pearl glass, gold salmon. So the carmine crab is actually one that we
I can
need.
catch a big one here.
Let's do this thing.
And we have a question mark here, so obviously we'll try to catch that. Looks like the carmine crab is a very small catch here, which is unfortunate.
There.
But we'll see if there's any other fishing spots.
That's it. Ha! Got myself a whopper.
Pink azelfish. And we got the big one. Great start.
Let's do
So-
this thing.
Yeah, this is like the closest we can get, which kind of sucks. Oh, there is another fishing spot.
Let's do this thing.
Okay, this one's better. That one has the Carmine Crab at 2 out of 3. Dumplings do not help us here. But that's a better chance than we could, than I was hoping for. There's the Mersham Garden entrance. Bam. You have the same dialogue as always? Yes, you do. Marin. Like, if she didn't always have the same dialogue, I would think that it's a bug, but it is almost certainly
Wanna
deliberate
rest here?
at this point. I'm gonna
I have some good books on sale.
circle around the map and see if there's any other fishing spots. I think it's only those. Oh, nobody recognizes over there.
I think I'm in love. Come on over and say hello.
Aye. Yeah, it looks like we only have 2 fishing spots. Alright, let's catch that one crab. The Carmine Crab.
Let's do this
Yeah,
thing.
this is the best we can get, sadly.
There. That's it. I think I caught me a rare one. There. That's it.
We should also check some of the other locations that have water. Like the, I know there's a few areas. I don't remember. I can't name them
I
off
think
the
I
top of
caught
my
me
head.
a rare one.
I'm so happy we got that so quickly. I'm sure, like, there's some new fishes in other locations. Verdano's down here. So, when I left Messeldom, I handed over ownership of my shop over to this girl that's practically my sister. Anyway, she sent me a letter recently, told me that a few old friends had stopped by. Oh, really? I thought that I heard she was heading that way. Oh, whatever. It's nice to know that all the good Dingo's done has really been helping people in the long run. Here's hoping his soul's resting in peace. I'll drink to that.
Alrighty.
Did you hear what we were talking about just now? About the stuff that happened over in Messeldom, I mean. You run into any stories about Dingo while you were there? Yeah, got a chance to talk about him with one of our clients. Can't tell you all the details, but it's obvious he's left a trail of good deeds in his wake. Well, whatever he did, I'm sure it was life-changing. I imagine your client wanted to thank him for his help, too. If only. Well, you're able to accept your thanks instead. That's gotta count for something, right? We just have to make sure to pass it on when we visit his grave. I suppose you're right. You know, I have him to thank for getting me this gig as a taxi driver. Only reason I could walk in the daylight again. It was around the time he left Messeldom to become a writer for Meld. Those were some hard times for us, but things are better now. A world without Amada. It's been nice for Dingo to see it. That girl Dingo seems so fond of, or she's been doing pretty well recently. I see her articles in the Tyrol Times on occasion. I get a feeling she'll be making it big in the future. Well, we'll be cheering her on. And knockout competition over at the arena seems pretty popular. Crowd gets so noisy sometimes. Well, I guess it's a good way for Scum to let off steam. By the way, the arena events are all sponsored by the same person. They're the big boss of the Blacklight District. Don't show their face very often, but you can be sure to trust them. It's Harwood again, isn't it? Like, I don't think we've met the
Come again.
quote-unquote boss of the Blacklight District yet.
Buy something from me. I promise you won't regret it.
What's happening over here? I was able to round up lots of high-quality girls today. Sure, they're all beginners, but just you wait, they'll be our top sellers in no time. That's great, but are you really going to bring them in all at once? And you said they're all beginners? Don't you think Ina might be a little too advanced for them? Don't worry, I'll just ask Mistress about it. But until she agrees, you'll have to take care of them in the meantime. Well, I guess we don't have a choice. I actually wasn't intending to scout more girls today. My talent-seeking abilities are scary sometimes. It's no big deal. Mistress will take care of it.
Ah, you fancy these too, huh?
Viper Bite Extreme. A nutrient drink that gives you a bottomless reserve of energy.
Do come again.
Alright, let's consume that. Rank up again. I'm guessing the gourmet rank caps out at 20 in this game. That's the rate it's going.
What?
I know I can be a little scatterbrained at times, but there's always one thing I'll always remember. And that's, okay, actually, I forgot. Well, that's fine. Probably wasn't important anyway. Let's keep drinking till we forget everything. Business motto. As long as I don't think too hard about things, I'll stay happy forever. Come on, let's drink till we drop. You don't have anything new, so I'm not even gonna enter your shop. Let's see, what else we got? I believe that is... what was her name? Gabriella? I guess I do have to talk with all the people. See, the doctor, Isabel, Nemoth Island, huh? From what I heard, they were trying to carry out some grand human experiment. AG cult. Could have sworn they were destroyed years ago. Karma really can be a bitch sometimes. Well, just forget I said anything, alright? I only pray that those spirits have found peace. But do I even have the right? She has some backstory with the DG cult. Sounds like. Music. This is an A. This is a B. Look, the G can be for Gabriella. That's Mommy's name. I made sure to learn that letter first. Yeah, you really are an angel. Wait, no, G should be for Gigant and Guided Missile. Okay. Mommy's taught me so much already. It's like she knows everything, even how to give the best hugs. All I want is to give Yada a good life, so I figured it might be best that I send him to Sunday school. But I can't just allow him to go above all by himself, can I? I mean, who knows what could happen during his classes? I have to be there. Means I have to close the store pretty often, though. What should I do? I wonder what Yada would look like while studying. Even the thought is adorable. Off. I need to get my boy in Sunday school. It's for his future.
Do me a favor and decide already.
Northern Borscht. North Ambrian Soup. Talk recommendation of Gabriella, the shop's owner.
Come back whenever you like.
I'm stuffed.
Borscht. Sup, Morgan? Welcome back, friends. Glad to see you're safe. Heard you had a fight with the Society's Oathbreaker. To think the DG cult would rise again. I couldn't have predicted that in a million years. Sounds like you know a lot about this stuff, Morgan. Well, I was just helping to gather information for the guild. I had to learn a lot about all the Paradise locations in the Republic. Pretty impressive, right? I've been working with military, the police force. Even got involved with the Grouser at one point. Tried to keep my distance, though. I didn't realize. Wait, did you know what was going to happen on Nemoth Island? No idea. I know the place is technically part of the Republic, but it's really just some random remote island. I did hear that Paradise was crushed by the Society in a separate operation, though. I'm sure that's something the intelligence agencies were aware of, but nobody in the underworld had a clue. Well, I'm sure it was a hell of an operation. Yes, I've only heard about it in rumors, but I heard they used the Society to destroy them. And that's how the remnants ended up. Well, I'm glad we were able to put an end to it all. Yes, although I do have some regrets. And Nadia. Well, anyway, I'm glad to see you're all safe. Try to rest and recuperate for now, alright? It's been over 10 years already. Time certainly flies. Got so scared when I heard the Oathbreaker showed up, but I'm glad to see you're safe. I mean, that guy's just the worst. Seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if he planned to blow up the whole island. Anyway, I'm sure you got plans. Just remember to rest and recuperate, alright? He planned to A. Cover the island in toxic gas, and B. Literally blow up the island using the DG cult's angel. And I'm pretty sure that's the only real term for it. Anyway, I don't really mind doing work in the service industry, but the stress of it all really gets to me sometimes. Anyway, don't you think the events of the arena have been pretty popular lately? Maybe I should place a few bets to let loose a little. Yeah, something new. Oh. Hey, Fixers. Been a while since you've shown your faces down here, don't you think? Looks like the forces behind the scenes have started making more noise lately. There's a pretty good chance they'll be settling their sights on you soon. Remember to keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, I figured. Both the Legacy and the Nuke, we've been in the spotlight a little too much lately. Could you maybe explain who exactly these forces are? So far, I've heard about Heiwei and a few Jaeger Corps. And it sounds like Heiwei's got something up their sleeve. Huh, shouldn't be surprised. We need to be more careful going forward. The fact that we lack information at the moment puts us at a disadvantage. Right, let's switch up our path while we go around the Blacklight District, just in case. And I have already mixed around my path quite a bit.
Ho-ho! Got a great lineup at great prices.
I'm guessing the new stuff might be... Oh, some of this stuff is new. So, okay. Just upgrade versions of the, of these special items. That's pretty cool. I like that. True Proverbs of Divinity. So somebody has the dinosaur wallet equipped. Otherwise, we could upgrade it.
Come again soon.
Who has the dinosaur wallet? You do. Take that off.
Ho-ho! Gotta come again soon. Ho-ho! Got a great lineup at great prices.
Let's see. I got a thing in my eye right now, and I believe it's catching... It's the lower side of my eye. So I'm trying to read some of the text at the bottom, and it's hard to read because it's fuzzy. Let's see, barrier wall made from the hide of a mighty reptile. It has the same description.
Come again soon.
Well, plus is plus. Item drop rate plus 70%. Amada's Legacy, huh? Really is a nuclear weapon. We're in for some trouble. There's a good chance you lot will be targeted soon, so be careful, alright? Oh, you missed, what was his name? Joe Browning? Yeah. 10,000 punches a day. No, it's gotta be more. If I'm gonna have any chance of beating that bastard, I have to do more. Strangely enough, my days seem pretty fulfilling now. The thought of revenge really lights a fire in the soul, huh?
Well...
Bastard, he beat every single one of the arena's challengers, by himself no less. He even defeated that one Jaeger with the robot. No way that guy's normal. I'm tasting defeat myself, I get it. I was in a rut because I was a champ. Being hit around a few times has really helped me liven me up some. Glad that it sounds like he's off the drugs. It looks like we are done with all of the all of the districts that did not have quests in them. So now let's just go
Let's get
around
going.
and start completing quests. Old Town had like one that just ended up here at the bathhouse because of it was like Easterners, because this is because like the bathhouse is like has something to do with that. Migrant workers.
Let me ask you something.
Oh yeah, missing migrant workers, yeah. And it was North Sumeria. Want to know about immigrants from North Sumeria? You're right, we do see our fair share around here. Our family's from Area, but we share our culture with people all over the north. And particularly, we got lots of Northumbrian migrants who like to stop by. They usually come in to talk to my grandma and grandpa about all their problems. I think maybe it's the workers complaining about their day. Bingo. Bill, picking up on stuff like that is pretty impressive. Tell me, have you heard anything strange lately about those workers you mentioned? Well, I guess it's not really new, but there's been some talk about them being dissatisfied. Got your blood drawn first thing in the morning, so you're gonna get going. All right, Laylee, take care. Nice of you to stop by, and appreciate the gift. I'll get around to it when I finish Deltarune, since Trails in the Sky FC remake is a lower priority game, since it is a remake, although I'd love to play at some point. Same with the Thousand Year Door remake. There's a lot of games on that list that I need to get through eventually. There's been some talk about them being dissatisfied with the way they're treated. Dissatisfied with the way they're being treated? Are they being discriminated against? I think it's a little different. I mean, even though they're immigrants, they still look pretty much like everyone else in Calvard, right? Compared to other immigrants, the ones from up north don't really stand out that much. That's true. Even immigrant advocate movements tend to focus on those from the East or Central East. I'm sure it's because physiological differences are more easily identifiable. But if that idea starts making the rounds, it's not hard to imagine why northern immigrants would be treated less favorably. And it's hard to garner sympathy from them when they look just like the majority of Calvert's population. So they feel like they're being left out, is that it? Though they're dealing with similar problems, it's harder for them to gain the same amount of sympathy. I can see how that might make you feel a bit trapped. Be surprised if someone is able to use that to their advantage. Yeah, but I haven't heard a thing about anyone being swindled. So, she got to you already, huh? I might just have some useful gossip for you all. Oh, you've heard something? You better not be pulling their tail. Well, it's only something that came down to the grapevine. There's been talk of someone who can pull foreign workers from the mire of their jobs. Interesting. Can you tell us more? You see, I've been looking into investment trends for social welfare services recently. While I was doing some research, I heard something about a non-profit organization that struck me as a tad peculiar. An NPO? Yes, it was only recently created too. They say they're a group that provides employment support to immigrant groups. It appears they've been luring immigrants who already have jobs with promises of both better pay and working conditions. All it takes is one question. Really happy with where you're at right now. That's what they're asking them to quit? Sounds like they must be pretty convincing. Never heard of an NPO asking people to quit their jobs though. They don't seem to be finding new jobs for the ones that quit either. In my opinion, it's all rather irresponsible of them. The least they could do is help them get back on their feet. I agree. No matter how prosperous a republic is now, there's no guarantee they'll be able to find another stable income so easily. Especially for those that don't have a valid work visa. Sounds like they're just increasing the number of unemployed immigrants. How would they do that? They can't be profiting from it somehow, right? It might be too late to ask this now, but what is an NPO? I've heard of an NGO before. Of course, to give a simple explanation, NGO stands for non-governmental organization. On the other hand, NPO stands for non-profit organization. Both are independent from their nations and are operating to better social welfare. Oh, whoops. In general, the ones that are restricted to specific fields and act on a local level are NPOs. Those who act on an international level and cover multiple pursuits are referred to as NGOs. I see. I think I get it now. But if that's true, then this NPO isn't making anything better at all. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to do some more research into this organization. Thanks for all your help, guys. You're welcome. I hope you figure it out. Come on, there's no need for thanks. Just join me for our next game of Mahjong, and I'll consider it even. I don't know how to play. How does one do the Mahjong? I've been doing some investigating work into investing into welfare work recently, so I've been getting some insider info on NGOs and NPOs. The creation of NPOs specifically has been on the rise in the past couple of years. However, they're not subject to professional oversight. It's a pretty major concern in those circles. Lots of talk of how to ensure transparency. Ida seems to have a lot to offer people from the north. Most of them come here because they're having trouble back home. Even though Rimaferia is doing pretty well lately, places like Northumbria are still trying to find their footing. I hope things start getting better soon. So, where are we heading now? Well, it looks like we're going to Riverside.
Let's get going.
And I think this is where we're going to have to stop because it is getting hard to keep my eyes open. Well, we made it through a couple districts. No major gameplay, but dialogue's dialogue. And we got to watch a movie. But, yeah. We'll call it a night for now, and we'll get back to city slicking next time. Whenever that is. Till then, have a good night.